Hey, Grant Cardone, and welcome to the Cardone Zone. Every Monday I come to you to talk about your money, your finances, your wealth creation. A lot of times we talk about real estate investing here, but we also cover things like the stock market, cryptos, and more. Thank you for joining me this morning. If you want to call in, 305-865-8668, 305-865-8668. Look, I want to keep your questions today to passive income, earned income, and wealth building. I'm going to share with you today a very simple thing that I wish I would have known when I was growing up on the come up, the difference between earned income, passive income, and more importantly, I'm going to reveal to you the ultimate play. What's better than passive income? Post below. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, comment. Love your feedback. If you like this, you want more of this, let me know. Whether you're 25 or 55, if you're committed to creating wealth for yourself, you've got to know the steps, you got to know the strategies, and you got to know the hacks. For 35 years, I've been studying wealth. The first 20 years of that 35-year study, I made a lot of mistakes because I was getting my information from people who were more interested in earned income, how to increase earned income. And that's where it starts. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It is a good thing. You want to increase your earned income. But the problem with earned income, and I'll share with you in this show, is most people don't understand earned income cannot produce wealth. Passive income, on the other hand, can start when it's recurring and dependable and repeatedly recurring and dependable, and you don't lose money, you don't go backwards, and you don't trade time for money, is less taxed and can provide an individual, when it is accumulated, with tremendous amounts of financial security. But neither one of these, neither one of these in small quantities can make a difference, and neither one of these can even closely compete with the third thing that I'll share with you toward the end of this show today, which is how wealth is created. So I'll do this show every Monday. You'll get a notification when you hit the little bell that we're going live. You can call in every week. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to give you what I wanted when I was 25 and was broke, and what I desperately needed when I was 33 and I had $1 million in a savings account. I was literally more scared at 33 with money than I was at 25 when I was broke, because now I didn't know what to do with the money and I had this new responsibility. It's like money's like a baby. Like you got a baby, man. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I got this new responsibility. What do I do? Well, you go into action and you got to protect it. You got to feed it. You got to service it. You got to make sure that baby's safe. And more importantly, you got to make sure that baby grows up to be a healthy, happy child. And then an adult, hopefully contributing to society. And then you've done a good job parenting. Money is the same way. Are you parenting your money? Are you protecting it? Are you taking care of it? And most importantly, are you letting it grow up so that it can actually contribute back to the community? I've learned all of this. I've learned it the hard way, and I'd like to share with you today some things that I've learned. And all that starts with definitions. First thing I want to do here is I'm going to look this up with you in present time. There's nothing wrong with looking things up. There's nothing wrong with, if you understand something, understanding it at another level by rediscovering what maybe you don't know, okay? So let's just start with earned income. Earned income, and I don't know if you guys can see this on my computer because I can't see what they see. Earned income is considered for the year you are filing. Earned income would include all income from employment. Gross income. It would include wages, salaries, tips, bonuses, compensations. I'm adding some stuff here. Any compensations, like if you earn $80,000 in a year and I said, hey, you can stay at my house, I'm going to give you a bonus of staying at my house, that would actually be a bonus. Or if I was going to give you a trip off somewhere, if I was going to give you a pair of shoes, all that's compensation. If you won the lottery that year, and the lottery was a $25,000 ticket, that would be considered earned income, not passive income, because you bought a ticket to get something back. If you bought a stock, sold it, and made money, that would be earned income or compensation, and that is heavily taxed, by the way. Earned income includes net earnings from self-employment. For those of you who are self-employed, when you go out, and this is what I was doing in the beginning, I was making $100,000 a year. When I was making $30,000, $40,000 a year, I didn't have this problem. When I made 100, all of a sudden, I started having a relationship with a group I did not know before called the IRS. federal and state, and they started whacking me. I'm like, my God. When I make 100 grand and work harder, I literally doubled my income. I paid more money in taxes than I had earned the previous year in total compensation of earned income. And so I got resentful. Many of you, I hear you talking about, I don't want to earn more money. I think the average person in America, let me just look this up. Average person in America, how many days do I work for IRS? The standard basic work week, this isn't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for to pay taxes. How many days do I work? Who knows the answer to that? Throw it down in the comments. How many days do I work to pay taxes? I think it's like 40% of the year. This year, Americans will work the longest to pay federal, state, and local individual income taxes, 42 days. Payroll taxes will take 26 days to pay, followed by state and excise taxes, 15. It's actually not that. This is not the answer I'm looking for. You know, it's funny when you're looking on the internet, you just keep looking for the answer that you want. But anyway, I think it's about 100 days of the year or 140 days of the year. The average American works almost 1/3, a little over 1/3, if I'm correct, of the year to pay federal, state, and excise taxes, unemployment taxes, et cetera, okay? That's earned income. Anything from compensation. I go out and sell something on the street corner. I'm supposed to pay taxes on that. I'm supposed to declare it. Some of you don't, I know, okay? But you should, because they're going to come back and get you later. If you take a second job, guess what? The problem with a second job is you're earning $60,000 at one job. You're probably paying $24,000 a year in taxes on that job, whether you know it or not. Most people don't even know what's being withheld from their taxes. Okay, and let's say we go get a second job. This is our first job, and I get a second job, and that second job pays me 40 grand a year. I'm going to pay another $16,000 on that. See what I'm saying? Like you're spending more time. You're doing 8 hours, adding 8 hours, and you're basically paying 30 to 40% of your time is being paid to the government. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. You should do that, but I'm going to show you a better way today. I'm going to show you have to do this in the beginning, but you want to be able to parlay it into something that starts offsetting these categories. These expenses are killing you. It's not what you're spending that's killing you. It's what they're taking from you that's killing you. And there's a way to work around this, okay? So let's say I go get a third job in multi-level marketing and I start a new business. By the way, that is earned income. Even though a lot of you guys in multi-level marketing talk about this being passive income, it is not passive income. If you trade time for money to build a team, when you build that team, it's recurring, and that's cool. Recurring income is not passive income necessarily. Recurring is if I'm trading time and I go work with Johnny to build a team, and that builds at $10 this week, $10 next week, and a month from now it's $1,000, and 2 months from now it's $2,000. It starts building because that's still earned income. So if you earn $1 million from network marketing, trust me, the IRS is going to treat that like EI, earned income. They're not going to treat it like passive income, okay? So look up the definitions. Earned income, let me just go back over that, includes all income from employment, but only if it is included in gross income. Wages, salaries, tips. Somebody walks up and gives me $500, that's cool. The IRS wins with the tip. So you got to be like, I want to thank you on behalf of the IRS and myself. Okay, now passive income. What is passive income? Because this is where people can start actually building wealth, because you're not trading time to collect money. The moment you trade time to collect money, the IRS is going to intervene at a heavy rate. And the wealthy people know, man, if I could literally not just take that out of the equation, you know this equation, time is money? What if you could remove time and just go straight for the money? This is how you do that, okay? And this is a definition. Passive income is defined as, this is Investopedia. Good definition right here. Passive income is earned derived from rental property, is the first thing on their list. When I saw this, I'm like, I got to get some rental property. I was 33 years old. I was actually 28 years old, but I bought my first deal when I was 31 years old, 3 years later. And I'm like, okay, I need rental property. Limited partnerships. I didn't know what that meant. I got one of those though. Figured out what it was. I didn't know what rental property was in the beginning. So when I read the definition, I'm like, I need some rental property. I need some limited partnerships or other enterprises in which I am not involved. Okay? So what do? I'm earning 100 grand a year in a business. Okay? I read these definitions because I'm committed to wealth. For all of you that are out there committed to wealth and you want to come spend 3 days with me, I don't know if you can show them that link, Johnny, grantcardone.com/virtual. This is a great opportunity for you and me to sit down for 3 days, 3 full days. That's right. It's not 4 years. It's just 3 days. And I'm going to go over how to build wealth, okay? I'm not going to be talking about how I did it. I'm going to be talking about how you can do it and the exact steps you need to take. So this is earned income. I was earning money. I have a tremendous and almost anxiety about increasing this number, but every time I increase it, I go from 100 to 200, they rob me. You ever heard this? 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards? That's how I felt, man. Every time I go forward, they grab part of it. I'm like, God dang, I thought I had a victory, and they cut it in half. I thought I won today. I did better, and they cut it in half, okay? So that's one way, and by the way, do not misunderstand me. You want to increase this as high as you can go. In fact, if you want to get in the top 1% of the earners in America, you want to get that number to $440,000. You want to get to 44 million if you could think that big. But at some point in the future, as you build wealth, you want to bring this back down to $1. I don't really want earned income to create wealth, okay? Now, when I read, hey, you need, what did it say? Rental properties. You cannot create passive income if you don't get these vehicles. It's impossible. It says by definition, this is the IRS definitions, this is the wealth definitions, this is what you have to do this. This is how the game works. So if you're going to try to bypass it, you're not going to win this game. This is the rules of the game. It says by definition, rental property, it says limited partnerships. Okay? Literally within I was 28 years old. I just started my first business. I was rocking. I was starting to figure out the deal. I was starting to make some money. And it says, limited partnership or other enterprises in which a person is not actively involved. Okay, you want to circle that. You cannot be actively involved for it to be passive income. So you guys that are going to go out and buy some real estate, right? Or you're going to go raise money. You're going to go raise money for a real estate deal. Guess what? You're going to get banged for earned income and you thought it was passive. It is not passive if you're trading time for it. You cannot be actively involved for this to work. So this is what I did when I was 28 years old. I started spending as much time as I could to increase my first income, because to do these other 2 things, you're going to need money to do them, right? Or you're going to need partners. So when I wasn't working, rather than goofing off on the weekends, my buddies are out going on vacations and playing golf and doing cool things, starting families. And I was like, no, I'm going to pay the price right now. I'm going to learn about these limited partnerships. What is that? And I'm going to learn about rental property. And I started shopping. The first thing I did was, and some of you think I went out and bought real estate right away, but the truth is I got a limited partnership with a guy named Scott Morgan. Created a company with Scott called the Cardone Group. He did automotive consulting. By the definition of the law, I was not actively involved. I was literally like, hey, you can use my name, you can use my products, you can use my information, and you can use my branding, but I'm not going to be actively involved in this business. You run it up, or run it into the ground. It's your call. And I cut a deal with him. I got a percentage of the proceeds, and he paid me every month to use my name. That was passive income. I think I was taxed as earned income in the beginning, about 2 years, because I didn't know these. Wasn't clear on these definitions. But because the way we set it up, I should not have been taxed as earned income. I should have simply been taxed as a passive involver in this activity. And no matter how you're taxed, the reality is when you're not trading time for money, you're multiplying money. So watch what happened. We created this limited partnership. I think that limited partnership made $100,000 the first year. If Scott hears this, he's going to be like, we made 400 grand the first year, okay? Whatever. And I think I got 41% of that deal, okay? I made $41,000 of passive income. It was treated as earned income because I didn't know what I know today. I would have set up the structure different so that it was just paid as a royalty to me and it was passive, okay? I was paid $41,000 on this. I went out and made $100,000 because of my own work, okay? I earned 41%. I increased my wages by 41% without trading my time. I had a multiplier. I was still taxed heavily, no problem, but now I have two companies, two flows. We talk about multiple flows of income all the time here. I have two flows, one that's dependent upon me and the second one that's not dependent. Then I added the third piece, the rental property. The rental property is this. Rental property works like this, okay? I took $3,500, bought a $78,000 piece of real estate, and I was making an extra $200 of cash flow above and beyond my payment. I took $3,500, bought a $78,000 property. I have two businesses now, and the third one was, I'm gonna go buy this piece of real estate. I had to find it, had to buy it, had to negotiate, had to get a loan on it. That took, I don't know, took 15 days, 20 days, 30 days. It took a little bit. I had to sign some documents. I had to know all that. I had to hire lawyers, probably $1,500. I had to do all that stuff, and then I had to commit to a long mortgage on that piece of property. It was terrifying. But my first check was $200, okay? And that was $200 a month. If I kept that property 12 years, it looked like on paper I was gonna make $2,400. Okay, let me just bring you to the story. So let's say my income on my first business didn't go up. And by the way, I got a big surprise for you here in a second, how to warp speed all of this, okay? And blow all this up, blow everything out of the water. When you learn this last trick, you're gonna be like, dude, I'm only gonna get earned income and passive income so I can get this third play, because the third play just kills everything. So here I am, my first business, earned income. I got $40,000 coming out of my second business, earned income, even though I was a passive partner. I just made a mistake in how I recognized it with the IRS. And the third thing I had was $2,400, and all I did was simply sign some documents, buy the right piece of property, the right time, and I put somebody in there that would pay the mortgage, the maintenance, and give me a little bit of cash flow. Now, which one of these are most important to me? First of all, they're all important to me. Every one of them is important to me. I can't do the third one if I didn't do the first one. I wouldn't have the second business if I didn't do the first business. I had to keep doing the first business, by the way, to keep feeding the second business, because the leads from this business came from this one, okay? The money from that one and this one allowed me to do this one. Now, this was a $78,000 piece of property. That piece of property is worth $400,000 today as a tear down. You could literally scrape the house and somebody would pay $400,000 to buy that house today and probably put $1 million, $1.5 million, maybe a $2 million house in its place. Which one of these is most important to me? Which one do I value the most? Which one will last the longest? Which one is taxed the least? Okay, I did not know this when I was doing this. The money that I earned from this deal, because I was the active person collecting the rents, they banged me. All I needed to do was put a manager between me and that, and I wouldn't have paid the earned income tax on that passive income. So when you guys go out and buy real estate, and you're actively picking up the check for that real estate, and you're doing the work, and you don't have a manager between you and it, you are not a passive investor. Okay, not in the beginning, you're not. Okay, today this third business is worth, it's got $3 billion worth of assets in it. This company I still have, this company I still had, and they all keep producing income for me and my families. But none of these are as good as the thing that I want to share with you, okay? Now, this is the play. And hopefully you're walking out here, 305-865-8668 if you want to call up, ask a question, if you're trying to figure out how to make a move here, 305-865-8668. And we're going to spend 3 days with you, October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. This is virtual. I deliver this content to you, and I sit with you. Literally, I'm going to have a bunch of screens around me, and I'll be able to see everybody in the room with me. It is a super, super technological, very advanced way to share. Can you show Johnny what it looks like? Share a workshop setting with you where I'm going to share a piece of information, I'm going to click a button, say, okay, guys, do your exercise. You got 5 minutes, and you're going to break up into groups of 5 people each, do that exercise, and then we'll come back and discuss it, okay, and hold people accountable. So remember, earned income. This is many years ago, okay? Today, that $100,000 business, I never walked away from that business. That business probably earns, on a bad day, $300,000 a day. This was a year. This was 1 year. This is a day. So I'm just sharing with you this. I'm not bragging about this. I'm proud of this and everything, but I'm sharing with you, like, I never walked away from it. I've been doing this business. I've been growing this business for 30 years now. $100,000 a year. I learned how to make $300,000 a day. Sometimes $500,000 a day. Sometimes $700,000 a day. We've had multi-million-dollar days here. Okay, this money is taxed heavily unless I can do something with the money that comes from it that I'll share with you in a second. Number one. Number two, the Cardone Group, that business that I still have, I don't know what it's going to pay me this year. I get 41% of the proceeds of that company. He does the work, I don't, and he continues to build that brand. Cardone Group, there's Cardone Ventures, there's 10X Incubator, there's 10X Health Systems, all these Cardone Ventures. All these are partnerships. I think by definition it says limited partnerships or enterprises. So I keep adding Cardone Group, Cardone Ventures, 10X Incubator. We're going to start 10,000 companies, launch them, fund them, help them with manufacturing and marketing, and bring them to the marketplace over the next 10 years. If you haven't heard about what we're doing at 10X Incubator, man, you got some kind of crazy whack idea about the next piece of technology. This is about technology, okay? 10X Incubator is a technology company. Cardone Ventures is where we scale. What else I got? I'm launching 10X Health System. You'll see that website up this week, to offer technology and alternative health solutions to people that want to stay in shape, want to reduce anxiety and stress, want to reverse aging. I don't know if I can even say reverse aging, but people say, man, dude, you look like you, what's that guy's name?
Benjamin Buttons.
I'm Benjamin Buttons. I said, no, I'm Grant Cardone, and I take care of myself all day long. Okay, what else do I have, Johnny? What else do I have going on? I got my 10X events that we do. There's some other partnership that I'm forgetting. Oh, 10X Media. Okay, these are all partnerships. I'm 50% partner here, 50% partner here, 50% partner here. 10X Media will have a 50%. We're going to actually go produce TV and movies. Is happening, okay? So this is cool. Earned income, other enterprises, but here's the play, folks. Here's the thing that will dwarf. It'll dwarf everything, and it's called the recapitalization of assets. And when you recapitalize, when you build assets and then recapitalize them with debt, let's say my company, let's say this company that does $300,000 a day, let's say it's worth, and I'm just making this up. You guys on, let me just see here. You guys on the internet, that are estimating my net worth, and Gorilla, what's some of those places? The Legit Billionaire, Wealthy Gorilla, all you want to know about net worth. Everybody that's out there searching my net worth, Forbes on my net worth. You guys can't keep up with what I'm doing. Like, I see what you posted on 2021 results. And I'm like, you guys are a little slow to the game here. If you take an enterprise that does $300,000 a day, that's $109 million a year without any extra events, okay? If I go and recapitalize this asset, it is an asset, it's a going concern, an enterprise. If you were going to go recapitalize this, somebody's going to say this company's worth some number greater than the revenue it produces, being that the graph that it has is like that for not 1 year or 2 year or 3 years, but for a decade or longer, since 2012 for sure. If you take these other enterprises, for instance, we have one that we started last year. It did 14 million a net the first year. Let's say 14 million times 4. Let's say it's worth 56 million. But if we knew that that business was going to make 45 million this year and on track to do that, that company could be worth 180 million. Okay? So let's say this is worth let's say it's worth 200 to 400 million here. Let's say this company's worth 180. You might want to consider recapitalizing your assets. When I recap an asset, and I know the haters are going to be watching this right now. I'm with you guys. I love you guys hating on me, man. If you recapitalize your assets rather than selling your assets, I wouldn't sell them. Okay, what I would do is I would recapitalize the assets. Let's say they're worth 600 million. Whatever number you want to put. You want to put 400 million? This happens every day. This is how the wealthy create wealth. Okay, what they do is they would go borrow against this 400 million. Let's say they pull out $200 million. And when they pull out $200 million and put debt on their company, the tax event of $200 million in cash is zero. Debt by definition cannot be taxed. Every time you use your MasterCard, your American Express, your Visa card, or you go get a loan on a car, you don't pay taxes on that. You don't pay taxes on debt. You pay taxes on cash. That's why I say cash is garbage, dude. Debt is actually your friend if you know how to use it. So watch. Let's say I get an infusion of $200 million. If I went and earned $200 million, I would only end up with 100. In this case, I end up with $200 million. I control the company that pays the debt on it. I know the company's doing well. This is basically an inside job. I want an inside. I want the inside. I want the inside. Dude, I'm on the inside. You and your business are on the inside. You and your family can create this wealth plan. Earned income, get it up as high as possible. Use the cash to buy passive income investments, other enterprises, and or real estate. And the third thing you want to do is you want to recapitalize these investments. You could take $200 million and go buy $1 billion with debt, new debt, by the way, more debt, that's what I said, more debt. And you would buy $1 billion worth of enterprise value that produced cash flow that would produce probably on this 10 million a year. What's 5% of 200 million? Is that right? I think it's 10 million. And all this is passive now. I'm just literally making deals like that first property I bought that produced $200 of cash flow per month, $2,400. I'm going to tell you right now, I'd rather have $2,400 passive than $50,000 in earned income. I would rather have $2,400 a year in passive income than have $50,000 of earned income. Truth is, I'd rather have them both, and you should too, okay? So let me just put this in here, 200 million. Yeah, it's $10 million, okay? This produces now another $10 million in cash flow, and guess what? That's passive income. I think today it's taxed at 19% until Mr. Biden will probably change things. 19% rather than the 39% that the average American pays today. I just shared with you a little trick, folks, okay? First it's earned income, then it's passive income, then it is ultimately, the ultimate goal for you and your family is to recapitalize your assets. That's why you see so many companies recapitalizing. You see so many companies using debt even when they have cash. So there is good debt, there is bad debt. There are people, good people, basically using bad debt. There's bad people using good debt, and I encourage you to figure out this game between passive income, earned income, recapitalizing assets with good debt. Let's talk to our callers, 305-865-8668, 305-865. Please keep your questions to these concepts. I know we talk about real estate a lot here. Real estate is one of those vehicles you can do this with. Okay, I know a guy that owns a car dealership right now. The car dealership's worth, I think the whole enterprise is worth $600 million. And everything's paid off. He has zero debt, no floor plans, owns all his buildings, everything. I'm like, bro, go borrow $400 million against those assets. I hate debt, Grant. I said, this ain't the kind of debt you grew up with. Okay, let's talk to our callers.
All right, we got Jacob in Utah.
Jacob, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Uncle G?
Good, man, good. What do you want to talk about?
Well, that's a good question. I came with a deal.
Oh, really?
But I really appreciated what you've been talking about already.
Yeah, so look, like your deal, does your deal provide passive income?
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically, yes. Okay, how big is it?
$2 million.
2 million?
2.4.
Yeah, so what are you going to do with that? Are you going to flip it?
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, then that's going to be earned income, just so you know. That is not going to be passive income. A lot of you real estate guys out there think you're getting into passive income. Flippers are not. Flippers and wholesalers are earned income. You're getting taxed at the highest rate. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. I'm just saying that is by definition earned income. Are you going to hold this, possibly hold it and keep it?
That would be awesome as well.
Yeah. How many units?
I guess if I held it and then refinanced it.
Yeah, recapitalized.
Would that be a better play in your opinion?
Yeah, 1,000%. Like one of the mistakes I made with my real estate is I sold stuff. I shouldn't have sold stuff. Like this car dealer that I'm talking about right now, he could pull $400 million of cash. None of it would be taxed, folks. All he's doing is reaching into future earnings and dragging it out, grabbing it from the future, pulling it to him right now. He's not over-leveraged his car dealerships. The car dealerships can service that debt. He's going to pay, on this debt, he's going to pay probably 2%. He's going to pay $80 million a year in debt. $80 million a year in debt, okay? But he reached into the future, got $400 million. Let's say the $400 million pays him $20 million in cash flow. Let me see, 400. I did this wrong. 400 million. He's not going to pay 80 million. He's going to pay 8 million. I'm sorry, 8 million in interest to grab 400 million from the future, pull it to him. He's going to take the 400 million. He's going to earn, what is 400 million? I like to use these big numbers because they force me to start thinking big. Yeah, that's going to earn 20 million. Sorry, not 200, 20 million. So the 8 million over here that he paid in interest made him $12 million. The money wasn't even his. It hadn't even happened yet. He pulled into the future, grabbed it. But it's going to buy him $1.2 billion worth of real estate. Some of you out there, you don't understand what I'm doing right now with the real estate that I'm like, why is this guy so aggressively buying real estate? Because I'm using cheap money, 2%, 3% money, to buy 5% assets, okay? Assets that produce 5% cash flow. That car dealer now would have income from his car dealerships and passive income from this other vehicle, okay? Your $2 million deal, how many units is it?
15.
15,
One
that's
under
cool.
the limit.
That's cool. So what are you paying per door? That's 2 million divided by 15. You're paying 130. Where's it located?
Lenore City, Tennessee.
And what are the rents right now?
The rents are $990, or about $1,000 each.
Yeah, okay. And what is it? 1995 build.
Ooh, it says 2015.
Okay, 2015 build. Location? What's the location?
You mean like it's in Lenore City, Tennessee, which is a great place. Like overall, the location specifically is like okay.
Okay, all right. So look, the only way you can recapitalize is by increasing the rents. If you can't increase the rents, it's not a play. And if you can recapitalize the rents, do you have the 400 grand necessary to as a down payment?
No, not even close. So here's my question based on what you just shared about the car dealer with all that ability to recapitalize his assets and everything. I'm a college student with like no assets.
Yeah.
What I do have is a dad who's a doctor, and so my play was to go get $20,000 from his partners each.
Well, you need more than 20,000 to buy this deal. You probably need 400 grand.
Yeah, and he has 44 partners, and so I start with two people who I know two doctors, and that would give me the 20 grand at first, and I would just roll on that. So I don't know. Here's my real question for you, because I'm a fan of the show. I've been watching for a long time. If you're and this is a question you get all the time. Should I focus on number one right now? Should I focus on I'm about to leave college. Should I focus on trying to get like an investment banking job on Wall Street, earn income first, then go invest it? Or should I just try to raise money and try to go to the real estate game right now?
Well,
what would you do if you were 22?
What I would do if I were you, bro, is I would get around somebody that's playing the game. I would find somebody. I wouldn't go get it. I mean, I would look for who, not what. And Jared found who. He didn't find what. Jared was 25 years old. He found who. Who can help you move up the ladder, bro? Who's in a vehicle big enough to include you? Some of you're going out and you're getting good at a job, but man, the job doesn't have any distance in it. It doesn't have a trip in it. There's no way to win in it. So if you're a hungry, ambitious person, go find who is more ambitious than you, who has is got a vehicle that like imagine finding Elon 20 years ago. Say, bro, I just want to help you get your dream. Help other people get rich. Get close to people that are ambitious, that are wealth driven. They want to share with you. So no telling how many people Jeff Bezos has been through. Millions of people have come and go from Amazon. I'll bet you there's only one or two people that have hung out with him. His parents did. They put $250 with Jeff. They're worth $38 billion today. So find who has the energy. Like, I'm 63 years old, man. At some point I won't be playing this game, but when I see somebody 79 years old, I watched the game last night, New England and Tampa. Both coaches are 69 years old. I'm like, man, I got 6 years. Those guys are still out on a Sunday afternoon playing football. I got 6 years to become a hard ass. Okay? So that's what I would do, man. I would find who can help you get into this real estate game in a big way. Ryan Secco came and found me when he was 28 years old. And I've taught him more about real estate than he could ever learn in a workshop. But he's with me every day, and he's got to put up with my bullshit every day. So that's what I would tell you to do, man. You guys that are watching this right now, some of you be like, oh, there's no way if the properties are worth $600 million. This guy that I'm talking about right now, Kenny, I personally know. I've known him for 40 years. He has built a business that is worth today. He could sell it. Jared, you think? Somebody would come buy this thing for $600 million, maybe $1 billion. Rather than selling the asset, because if he sold it for $1 billion, he would have capital gains on the $1 billion. He would get whacked hard. Rather than doing that, but even if he wanted to do that later, he would go grab this money out of that, okay? He would go sit down with a Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan and say, look, I want to pull $400 million out of my enterprise. They would love to give him this loan. He would borrow that money at 2%. This is what you guys can do in the future. The numbers are going to be different. It's going to be $4 million or $40 million or whatever, right? He could pull this $400 million out. He's going to pay $8 million a year in interest, all of which is deductible. Not true on your home. I think you tap out at 750 grand, that's all you can write off in times 4% is all you can write off in interest, maybe 28,000. He can write off 8 million in interest. That 400 million, he would invest in deals like I'm doing. He would earn 20 million. You understand? He makes 5x on the interest. But what happens, the way the wealth is created, he's my age, he would take the $400 million. He wouldn't go buy car dealerships. He would move into another space that has nothing to do with car dealers. He would go buy $1.2 billion worth of real estate with me. And this $1.2 billion worth of real estate, let's take it out 10 years. Okay, let's say it goes up 3% a year for 10 years. That's what rents do. Okay, the 1.2 billion now goes up 30%. What is that, Jared? 360 million. Now he'd be like, I want to sell the real estate. No, bro, we ain't going to sell the real estate. We're going to recapitalize. We're going to recap the real estate. It's worth 1.3 billion today. We're going to go borrow 75% of that.
1.56 billion actually.
Is it? 1.5.
1.2 billion purchase.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's worth 1.6 billion. Let's just go ahead and exaggerate by 40 million. Because that's the kind of numbers you're talking about now. All of a sudden, things get ridiculous, and all of a sudden, everybody gets optimistic, okay? And interest rates go down when you do these big deals. 1.6. I'm going to get a loan for 1.2 billion. What did we pay for it?
1.2.
Yeah. Guess what he gets? Party time.
Down payment back.
He gets his 400 million back, and because he's hanging with me, I'm gonna be like, bro, let's roll it again. Now he's like, man, I'm 89 years old. I don't give a shit about this. But what about your kids? What about your church? What about your community? Roll it again, bro. This is how the Rockefellers played the game. This is why they still have, like, you got Rockefellers are still all over planet Earth, man. They just don't call it the Rockefeller Bank. They call it the Bank of America. J.P. Morgan.
Park Place.
J.P. Morgan's been going how long? Pumping dough every day, and he ain't been around for like 90 years. Okay, this is the game, folks. First, get your earned income under control. Don't spend more than you have or make. Use the extra to go make investments that get you number two, the PI, passive income. Passive income, by definition, is where you are not involved. Okay, this is how you create your net worth. Passive income, by definition. Let me just read that to you again. Limited partnerships, rental properties, or other enterprises in which a person is not actively involved. By the way, I'm going to go back with the IRS. All that money that we've received from Scott Morgan at the Cardone Group, that should have been treated as passive income, royalty income. We've been filing that wrong. Okay?
Years. How many can you go back?
I'm going to go back as far as I can. Okay? So, man, I'm going to sue the IRS and the federal government all at once. Okay. We got any other callers, Johnny? 305-865-8668. Today we're talking about passive income, earned income, and your wealth, recapitalizing assets. If you and your wife, you and your spouse had this in mind right now, if you guys were thinking about, hey, what are we going to do to buy a yacht one day, or to be able to go to Serbia or Croatia or south of France and just float in a boat for a month? Magic Johnson shared that with me last week in an interview. If you guys want to grab any of that material, if you want to be part of this 3-day wealth building boot camp, grantcardone.com/virtual. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you for 3 days, giving you the exercises necessary for you to go from earned income, being a slave. No problem. I'm willing to be a slave. I tell Jared this all the time. You guys that talk about a job, dude, I'd never leave my first job. Earned income to get passive income to one day recap assets. And this is how you create wealth right here. You do not create wealth with passive income only. You create it. Massive wealth can be created by recapitalizing assets, like Magic Johnson was talking about. He did his game on the Dodgers. They sold it. I bet you he wished they would have recapped it. You can do this in franchising. You can do this, okay? A Grant Cardone licensee. We're getting ready to expand our licensee program to include coaches around the world. We're going to explode that business. 10X Health Systems. We're going to blow that into $1 billion business, and we're looking for nurses and doctors that want to help us. If you're interested, doctors and nurses that are under attack by the FDA right now and the CDC and the WHO, we're building out 10X Health Systems. Email. I need an email for that, Jared. Grant@10xhealthsystem.com. Can you get that set up? Grant@10xhealthsystem.com. We're looking for doctors, chiropractors, PTs, nurses, you guys that are in that space, you want to get in this, we're going to basically create a franchise for 10X health systems and have 10X health centers around the world. Okay? We're going to make some announcements right now. Not right now, but in the very near future of some of our new partners. And when I mention their name, you're going to be like, didn't that guy used to play soccer?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a little drop.
Shit.
Big names, man. Big names are coming. Nurses, chiropractors, anybody in the healthcare space. Okay, you want to optimize. If you're interested in providing your customers with delivering cutting edge technology on health optimization, on alternative solutions to taking care of pain, repetitive injuries, aging, reversing the process, making sure people look as good as they do and have as much energy as possible. Email me, grant at 10xhealthsystem.com. 10xhealthsystem.com. That's going to be a business. I'm going to build that into $1 billion business, and then we're going to go recapitalize it, grab money from it, and go build other businesses with it. 10X Incubator. I'm going to build that into a multi-billion dollar business and do exactly what I'm saying, or I'm going to bring it to Wall Street. Cardone Ventures going to do the same thing. If you guys want to do that in your life, I want to help you do that. Or you can sit there and just earn income for the rest of your life and get exhausted. That's why people burn out, man. You guys burn out because you don't know this part of the game. Like, you're not going to burn out doing this. It is impossible to burn out doing this recap. You don't burn out. You can't get tired. Okay? You're not trading time for money. You're trading, you're leveraging assets that pay you today. And you take the money from the recap and then you earn more money passively. Let's talk to our callers, Johnny. Enough talking, Johnny.
All right, we got Mr. Rodriguez in Dallas.
Mr. Rodriguez, I hope you come spend 3 days with me at the Grant Cardone Virtual Boot Camp. GrantCardone.com/virtual. What's up?
Oh, hey, Grant. Thanks so much for taking my call. Gosh, I had a couple of questions, and now you're talking about this 10X Health Systems. This is actually Dr. Steve Rodriguez. You sent me a shout-out a while back. And yeah, this 10X Health Systems thing, yeah, I'm really curious about it. But I'm looking at, I'm a pharmacist is what I am. And do you have any need for, is there a benefit for that? I mean, is there a
1,000%, bro. 1,000. Like,
okay.
When I see what's happening in your space right now, how doctors, nurses, first responders, when I see what New York City did the other day with 70,000 people in the healthcare space, I'm like, we're going to do something about this. So
Yeah.
I need pharmacists, I need doctors, I need healthcare physicians,
Registered nurses.
chiropractors, like anybody in your space that understands bodies, alternatives, like that doesn't just want to go by the AMA. Let's cut, let's medicate.
That's what we need, Grant. That's what healthcare needs. Is they need a disruptor, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I had my own pharmacy for 12 years. I built 2 of them from scratch, and I was able to exit at a 10X multiple. And ever since then, I started investing in real estate. I've been following you for a little over 2 years, been on Cardone you for 2 years, and now I'm looking at making a career change and going into sales, selling body scans, which is preventative medicine, which is something that I can totally buy into because,
Make it part of it.
as you know, healthcare is a very reactive industry. You know, they wait until you get sick, and then they start treating you. Nobody wants to try to keep you healthy. And so if I can attach to something that I can believe in, where preventative medicine is where it's at, and you are kind of like the walking.
Steve, where do you
You're
live?
the guy. I mean,
Where do you
I
live,
live in
Steve?
Dallas.
Where?
I live in Dallas.
Oh, dude.
Dallas,
See, we
Dallas,
need Dallas. We need Dallas as a spot. I need like Phoenix, Tucson, Dallas. I mean, Dallas is so big. I could put 8 or 10 10X Health System clinics in Dallas by itself.
And here we
Houston.
go. The guy that I'm going to interview with tomorrow. This guy owns these body scanning clinics. Guess what this guy is? This guy is a fellow 10Xer.
Okay.
Whenever he saw my resume that I'm studying, that I'm on Cardone U.
Yeah.
He was like, I need to talk to this guy. Me and this guy met last week, and we just hit it.
Let's go. And by the way,
What do we need to do?
This is you should email. Did you get the other one set up?
They're gonna get it set up. Just email.
Partner.
It's probably gonna bounce because
Yeah, it's going to take a second to set this up. This is like literally, I'm launching this
Just
morning.
email Jared at Grant.
No. Don't confuse people. We got Grant at 10xhealthsystem.com. Email me there. and just give it about 20 minutes for it to work.
Yeah.
And then
Grant at
Steve,
10xhealthsystem.com.
yeah, Steve, this is a practice that you could set up that we expect. We're setting one up in Miami. We think it'll make, without a lot of attention, $10 million the first year.
Okay, so are you going to strictly cash model, or are you going including third parties, going at networks?
Cash only, brother. I don't
Yeah.
want anything
No,
to do
yeah.
with these people. I don't want anything to do with the health system.
Right, and that's what you want. I mean, that's where it's at. But
So
we need
you
someone
guys-
like you, though.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be, I mean, people can see what I'm doing with my health. They're like, dude, the guy's doing something. So I've been working on this now for 3 years. I started having pain in my body when I was 45. And for me, everything that I find or discover in my own life, I'm going to turn it into a business, everything. So I took
Right.
my real estate, learned about it, became a professional at it, became a sensei, became a master at the game. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to share with other people. I turned that into an education platform that then feeds our Cardone Capital Fund. I'll do the same thing with healthcare. Took care of my body. I've been working on my body now for what, Jared? 3-4 years? Really hard?
Probably 3 years.
So I've learned a lot about what do I need to eat? What does my blood say? Man, my blood, not just my blood type, my blood, what's going on in my blood is different than everybody else's blood. What does it need? What deficiencies do I have? And I
Right.
go,
How would you feel about getting a scan, though? Have you ever gotten a full body scan where they can look
Yeah.
into your body and check your heart, check your lungs, check for masses?
I
check
love the full body scan. I love all the tech out there. I like the swabs.
Yeah.
Have you done a swab yet?
I have been swabbed. Yes, I have.
Yeah. So I mean, we can do a 20-second swab in your mouth, not the nose, in your mouth, like literally, like just in your cheek. We could send you the package, you cheek it out, send it back to us, and we're going to be able to tell you every deficiency. We're going to set up to where we can roll this out, doctor, where we could take thousands, tens of thousands of these swabs and start calling people and say, this is where you're deficient. This is the fact of what your blood is saying to us in present time.
Yes. Yeah, this is awesome. And
What was your
I've thought
question,
about,
though? You had a question, man. We'll hook up on this, but what was your question?
Yeah. Well, I had a deal. I've been investing in real estate ever since I sold my business, and I've been investing in real estate. And I'm trying to get into multifamily, and I've got a 26-door deal that it just came across my desk, like literally right before the show came on.
Yeah.
And I'm just been trying to just crank the numbers out, and I just want to just kind of bounce it off of.
Yeah, but let me just say, hey, Steve, because you're a doctor, dude, you and I could make more money together with this 10X health system. And then once we start partnering and working on it, remember, I'm going to be blowing on your business. So I'm going to be blowing on the brand. And the more I blow on the brand, the easier it's going to be for you to sell your services and to the public in Dallas. But then once we start creating enough earned income from your practice, then we can start parlaying some of that dough to buy the real estate deals.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Reach out to me.
All right, we got Vincent in upstate New York.
Vincent, what's going on in New York and upstate New York, my friend?
Uncle G, what's up?
Come on, man.
How we doing?
Good, I'm doing great. How you doing?
So I just want to start off by saying thank you for all the videos you do. I've been watching them. You taught me how to underwrite my first deal. I've been watching a lot. But that is not the reason for the call today. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Look. Did you see this new report, man? And this one's good. Huh?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
There you go.
I don't know why people been. Man, I saw one of them the other night. I was worth like 300 or something. I was like, wow, man, that's sad. My wife said, why are you so depressed? I said, man, Google's kind of like trying to take me down.
We got Vincent on.
Vincent, what's up, bruh?
All right, I gotta let you know. I'm calling in, so. Oh no, I'm breaking up a little bit.
Today.
So I'm calling in.
You're fine. You're fine, man.
I work for a startup company, and I wanted to run it by you. I wanted to tell you what we're about. I got my CEO on the line, and I wanted to just explain what we're doing, maybe hopefully set up a meeting with you another time.
Okay. What are we meeting about, man?
Is that cool?
What are we going to meet about? This is a great article, man.
So it has to do with real estate titling.
Okay. Email Annie at grantcardone.com. Email Annie at grantcardone.com. I love this, man.
Spell it out for me.
Annie, A-N-N-I-E at grantcardone.com, man. Okay, next caller.
All right, we got Nathan in Kentucky.
Nathan, what's up? Man, this is a nice article, man. Finally, somebody's nice to me.
What's up?
I'm up.
Hello, can you hear me?
I'm up. The market's down and I'm up.
Dang.
What's new?
What's up?
Hey,
What's your question?
So I want to tell you something. I want to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I got a question for you.
All right.
All right. So I'm 21 years old. I own a roof cleaning and pressure washing company in central Kentucky. There's a lot of pressure washers around here. This is technically my first full year. I started last year. I've only made around $40,000 this year, which is actually triple what I did last year. And I'm about 50% profit range. I want to change the industry on cleaning roofs. So, getting rid of the black streaks on the roofs. That's the reason roofs go bad, and almost no one knows about this. And my question is, how do I market to something that no one really knows about? And I'm a small guy.
Okay. Dude, you got to learn how to market. Have you got our marketing program?
I just signed up Saturday for your the virtual thing, and the
well,
reason that I
good,
did
good.
is because of the marketing mastery you included in there.
Yeah,
I want
man,
to learn how to market.
So I already sent you the link. Grab that program and start eating it. And every time I say something, you're like, I don't know if I agree with that. That's what you need to do. Y'all need to do what y'all do. Y'all need to do the stuff that you don't agree with me on, not the stuff that you do agree with me on. It's funny when people read a book, they underline everything that they're like, the yellow thing, Mark. The only thing you guys are underlining is the shit you agree with. What you need to do is go back in the book and look at the stuff that you didn't circle, didn't underline, and didn't highlight, because that is where the gravy is. Okay, next caller.
All right, thanks, sir.
Market's better than I do, but I'm not going to say it about myself.
Louisa in Tampa.
Probably one of the greatest marketers that has ever lived on the planet. I mean, just saying, humbly saying it, by the way, a humble brag. Louisa.
Hello.
What's up?
Nothing. Hanging out at home per usual on a Monday afternoon, watching you on YouTube. The reason I'm calling in is because I had a quick question. So my fiance is planning on moving out of his first home that he has now. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, renovated, so it's pretty nice. The question that I had is that you mentioned something that interested me. You said that basically if he didn't have a property manager, it would be taxed as passive income. And I didn't know if you had a little bit more information on that. I mean, I understand you're not a financial advisor, but what exactly?
What is the question? Just give me that one question again. I missed it. Give me the one question you asked. What?
So.
Talk in your phone though. You're too far away from your phone.
Property. I'm not too far. I'm right next to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's just choppy.
Are you on speakerphone?
I had it on speaker. Is this better?
Take it off a speaker.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
That's better.
So,
Okay.
first time rental property. Now, there's no property manager. What is the suggestion to go about it? About how long should we wait, or what are the benefits of the property manager?
Well, guys, by definition, if you own a piece of real estate and you manage it yourself, that is not going to be considered passive income. Okay, it's not you're going there, you're renting it, you're collecting the check, and there's rules, right? So you need a property big enough, and I've said this to you guys for many years now, is you need a property big enough to where you can afford a manager. So if you have a property, it's like a business. A property is a business. If you have a property that earns $1,000 a month times 12 months, it earns $12,000 a year. Like, how much can you afford to pay a manager? The guy's going to want 10% to manage the property. And then that's only $1,200 a year. So what did you get? You got a guy for $100 a month. Who is going to manage the property? They're not going to do it. So you can't afford a manager, which means this is a terrible deal. Could you make some money on it? Yeah, maybe you take it, buy it, flip it, and that's earned income. If you manage it yourself, that's earned income. I would suggest to you that you would go find at least 32 units at $1,000 a month or $800 a month, that you could raise the rents on $200 a month, because if you can raise 32 units, if you can get 32 units, raise the rents $200 a month, you will make $1 million on that transaction, or the value of the building goes up $1 million by the raise of the 200. You can't do that on one unit. And now you can afford a manager. Or you could even make the manager an equity partner. The sooner we get this done, the sooner we get here, and the sooner I give you your piece. Okay? That is the value of having assets that grow, not a business that you grow. Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Grant Cardone, Cardone Zone. Every Monday I do this show. Show them this, man. I mean, I'm making so much noise, man. I got people saying that I'm making $321,000 a day, by the way. They got that right. Okay? $13,000 an hour, $223 a minute. Jared, do you know I'm $223 a minute? If you got some bunch of bullshit video that you want me to shoot today, I need $223 a minute, Jared. But you know what? I'm not going to do that, Jared. I'm going to do what Magic Johnson said. Quit trying to earn another dollar and get you some equity. Okay? And that is the point of the show today, folks. I hope you walk away with this. Earned income is cool. Get as much as you can until you can get passive income, okay? Passive income from assets, okay? The goal is to accumulate these assets to 10x your assets. You might have to 10x your income to get the assets. Ooh, I'm frozen. To 10x the assets, because if the ultimate play is to recap, and I know some of you thinking, I got a job, I can't do this. That guy sitting next to me's got a job and he's doing it. Because what he does is this. He earns income. Let's say he earns $200,000 a year after taxes. He gives all of it to me. I invest it, and we start buying assets. And then he gets income. So he's got $200,000 coming from earned income, and he keeps building $200,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $200,000 a year. The next thing you know, he's got $2 million worth of assets producing another $200,000 a year. Right? So your first goal would be to get earned income. I'm going to give everybody a goal here. It's your family. To equal passive income. You won't get there. I've never been able to catch up with my earned income. Because I'm broke all the time, so I hustle and my earned income keeps going up. It's a crazy game. Your goal should be to get your your passive income to be equal to your earned income. Your next goal after that would be to have a recapitalization of assets where you get a big load of income and you pay no taxes. That is the perfect wealth building plan. If you guys want to know how to do this for yourselves, I'll walk you through it on October 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Go to grantcardone.com/virtual. It's live, so I'll actually do it with you. It's only $297. If you give me the commitment to those 3 days, you save yourself $2,800. I can't do it October 22nd. Okay, we'll do it later. $3,000. How you do that, Johnny? I am not available. Are you available to get rich? Man, when somebody says, I'm going to show you how to get rich, bruh, I'm like, I'm available. I am available. I don't make excuses. I make time. Time is money. If you don't make time to earn the money, if you don't make time to learn about money, if you don't make time to get money to make money, guess what, folks? You're never going to have time. grantcardone.com/virtual. Thank you for watching today. Tell your friends. Hit that little notification button. the bell. If you didn't like the show today, please post in comments because I love that hate. If you like the show, please send me some love. I need a little bit to keep me inflated on myself. God bless you guys. Be great. And remember, peace, love, and cash flow.